Hello friends, and welcome back to our channel. Back with me again, Joseph, your host. Today, we have an incredible story about two brothers who were so brave and loved God so much that they became known as the branded saints. Their names were Theodorus and Theophanes, and their story is all about courage, faith, and standing up for what's right, even when it's super hard. Long ago, way back in the late 700s, two brothers were born in a land called Palestine. Their names were Theodorus and Theophanes. They were very smart, loved to learn, and most of all, they loved God with all their hearts. When they grew up, they decided to become monks at a famous monastery called Saint Sabbas, which was built into the side of a cliff near Jerusalem. As monks, they spent their days praying, studying, and growing closer to God. Theodorus even became a priest. Now, during this time, a big argument was happening in the land. The emperor in the big city of Constantinople, a man named Leo, had a strange idea. He thought it was wrong for people to have pictures or icons of Jesus, Mary, and the saints in their churches and homes. He called this iconoclasm, which means image breaking, and he ordered all the icons to be destroyed. But many Christians, like Theodorus and Theophanes, knew that this was wrong. They knew that when they prayed with an icon, they weren't worshiping the wood or the paint. They were honoring the person in the picture. An icon of Jesus reminded them that God loved them so much he became a man. These holy images were like windows into heaven. The head of the church in Jerusalem, the patriarch, knew that Theodorus and Theophanes were very wise and good at explaining things, so he sent them on a very important mission. He said, "Brothers, go to Constantinople and speak to the emperor. Help him understand why icons are important and a beautiful part of our faith." So, Theodorus and Theophanes traveled to the grand city. They stood before Emperor Leo and bravely explained the truth. They said that icons don't break God's commandments. They celebrate the fact that God became visible as Jesus Christ. They argued with kindness and wisdom, but the emperor wouldn't listen. His heart was hardened. Instead of changing his mind, he got angry. Because they wouldn't agree with him, the emperor had the brothers punished. They were beaten and sent away to a faraway place, exiled from the city. But even this didn't stop them. Their faith was like a rock, and they continued to pray and teach the truth to anyone who would listen. A few years passed and a new emperor came to the throne. His name was Theophilus, and unfortunately, he was even more against icons than the last emperor. He heard about the two brave brothers who were still defending the holy images, so he had them brought back to Constantinople. Emperor Theophilus tried to argue with them, but he couldn't beat their wise and faith-filled answers. He got so frustrated and furious that he decided to punish them in a way that no one would ever forget. It was a cruel and terrible plan. The emperor ordered his guards to take red-hot needles and write on the faces of Theodorus and Theophanes. He had them carve 12 lines of a poem that made fun of their beliefs right onto their skin. This painful torture took 2 whole days. It was meant to shame them, to make them a walking billboard of the emperor's power and anger. Can you imagine how much that must have hurt? But even as they were suffering, the brothers were incredibly brave. One of them is remembered for saying something amazing to the emperor during this terrible ordeal. He said, "Write whatever you wish on our faces, but at the last judgment you shall read your own writing." They knew that one day, the emperor would have to answer to God for his cruelty, and their faith would be their true badge of honor. From that day on, everyone started calling them the Grapti, which is a Greek word that means the written upon or the branded. Their scars weren't a sign of shame, they were a sign of their incredible courage and love for Christ. After this horrible branding, the emperor wasn't finished. He threw the brothers into a dark, cold prison in a town called Apamea. The conditions were terrible. Theodorus, the older brother, was very weak from all the pain and suffering. Sadly, he passed away in that prison in the year 841. He died as a martyr, someone who gives their life for their faith. But Theophanes, the younger brother, survived. And then something wonderful happened. Just 1 year later, the cruel Emperor Theophilus died. The new ruler was a kind and faithful empress named Theodora. One of the first things she did was declare that the icon breaking was over. She said that icons were good and holy, and she restored them to all the churches. This is called the Triumph of Orthodoxy. Empress Theodora ordered all the prisoners who had been jailed for defending icons to be set free. So, Theophanes walked out of that dark prison, his face still bearing the scars of his faith. He was welcomed as a hero. Because of his wisdom and faithfulness, he was made a bishop, the metropolitan of a city called Nicaea. He spent the rest of his life serving God, teaching the people, and helping to heal the church after so many years of fighting. But that's not the end of their legacy. Both brothers, even through all their suffering, were talented writers. They wrote beautiful hymns and prayers, many of which are still sung in the Orthodox Church today. So every time those hymns are sung, the voices of these brave brothers echo through time, reminding us of their faith. The story of Saints Theodorus and Theophanes the Grapti teaches us a powerful lesson. They show us that we should always stand up for the truth, no matter how hard it is or what it might cost us. They weren't afraid because they knew God was with them. Their scars became symbols of victory, and their suffering became their greatest sermon. They remind us that our faith is a precious treasure worth defending with love and courage. And just like them, we can be a light for Christ in our own world, in our own special way. We remember these brave saints on their feast days, St. Theodore on December 27th and St. Theophanes on October 11th. Their story is a powerful reminder that true strength comes from faith in God. Thank you so much for listening to this incredible story today. I hope it inspired you as much as it inspires me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories of the saints. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the story of the branded saints. Take care, everyone. Stay healthy and hungry for holiness. See you next time, and God bless you always.